unencumbered to give their best, do their best, be who they are.
How many of you are motivated by money? Like even a little bit? Everybody. The latest science seems to indicate, and I'm not an expert, I'm not a scientist, I'm not an economist, I'm not a psychologist. The latest science seems to indicate that money is a decent motivator. It's probably number 4 or 5 for most of us in this room, right? It's on the list. What's really motivating, right? We want to be a part of something bigger than ourselves. We want to look out for people we care about and like take care of them. We want to have a purpose and have an impact. So to me, it's the same old motivation that we've always had, but it's a matter of getting in touch with it. I think there's 2 ways to use the word integrity. And one way, which is common that we all use it, is you don't lie, you don't cheat, you don't steal, and that's fine. But I think another definition of integrity is I'm trying to figure out who I actually am, and I'm trying to live in a way that's consistent with those values that are deep down. I could take that for granted and say I don't need to think about it, or I could strive to get better at it every single day. So that to me is a huge motivator. The motivation for our company is sticking up for the little guy. Credit card processing is unfair for businesses, and every business owner out there will agree with that, and we want to make it fair for them, right? So that's our company motivation, but for me, a big part of my personal motivation comes from my mom and my dad. I want to be better every day. So, thanks for your question. Yeah? Oh, the last question, I'll just repeat it. I'll just repeat it for everybody else.
I think I got it.
Okay.
I just have a quick question for you. Can you share with us how the productivity in relationship to your decision making,
Yeah.
raising everybody's salary, how your employees' productivity within the company has changed and how that's affected the viability or the longevity, or how you see the longevity of your company?
Well, look, I think that if you as a business leader could make the choice between paying somebody 10% more or spending an hour with them per month, helping them develop as an individual, that hour is going to go way further in their career than the 10% raise. So you have to keep that in mind. And I would encourage you, this is not about money, right? Money is the optical part. Money is the part that the press is interested in. Money is the part that goes viral because it's this big conversation. But it's actually more about leadership. It's more about you being committed to your team. And, you know, I think, I just talked to you for a little bit, but I think you have that same passion that I have. And so I think it's about that commitment. And if you spend the time mentoring those around you and helping them be their best self, they will find ways to make more money for your community, whatever that is, your company, etc. And then you will have the ability to pay them more. So it really has to be earned. The weird thing that I found in the economy, which is what I think caused a lot of interest, is everybody in my company earned it, but then I didn't actually have to give it to them. I could keep it for myself, which is how a lot of people do it. And I was very, very tempted to do it that way. So to me, it has to start with that leadership, with the mentorship, with the motivation, and the money should be a consequence of that. I also think that it's a decent goal to say, I want everybody that I care about to make at least $70,000 or at least $75,000 a year. And there are some businesses where that's not possible. So maybe you say, I want you to work for me for 3 years or 5 years or 7 years. And I'm going to help get you from here to here, and then we're going to talk about how this is going to relate to the rest of your career. That's like true passion and true care. And I actually have people that worked for me that now are in leadership positions at Amazon, at Porch, at a lot of these great companies, and I'm just as proud of them as people that are still working at Gravity in leadership positions at Gravity, right? So I think it's about that care more so than the money. And the money part, I don't think everybody can do the same thing. So, thanks for your question.
Do you still have time for music?
So this is my high school music teacher, Tom Dale. You know, Mr. Dale, it's been pretty rough lately, to be honest. I love music, and my singing in the shower is getting worse every day. But I'm going to keep trying, and music will always be a huge part of my life. I know right now there's this huge debate about STEM and all this kind of stuff, and I don't know much about education enough to opine on that debate. But I'm really thankful that I studied music, and I think it had a huge impact on my life, so I'll say that. Thanks, Mr. Dale.
So nothing in your bio mentioned University of Michigan, and I'm happy because we moved from Columbus, Ohio. We're big Buckeyes.
Nice.
So where your father and I left off, maybe. Here's a question for you, Dan. I know it wasn't your intent, or at least I sense it wasn't your intent through the attention to have opportunities to grow, to expand. But with the attention through the media, through the applications for jobs, I can only imagine there are opportunities where you struck a chord that's resonated with others,
yeah,
where they would desire to do business with a company that that is approaching business this way.
Yeah.
So could you speak about what you've seen so far and what you expect to maybe see in that regard?
Absolutely. Thanks for the question. So to me, business boils down to three things. And number one is keep your clients. Number two is your clients have to like you better tomorrow than they did today or yesterday. If you think that I can just keep doing things the same for them and that's going to work, bad news. It's not going to work. You have to do more for your clients today than you did yesterday. You have to do more for them tomorrow than you did today. And those two are constant. And then I think the third thing with business is if you can get new clients, that's good too. How many of us in our personal life, in our work life, get that backwards, right? It's the shiny object thing, right? We always want to grow. We always want more. For me, if you said to me, Dan, all your clients, you'll like change their lives in ways that you would have never expected, and you'll never get another new client again, will you make that trade? I'd say absolutely. So for me, growth should be organic because you really took care of the people that got you there. And I would say the same thing for the team. A lot of people said, oh, you're paying so much more, you should like fire all your whole team and upgrade. And what's that phrase, like dance with the one who brung you? So I like that. I wanna stay with our clients, and we are growing, but the growth is coming from organic. It's coming from our clients like us, and other people are attracted to it. And I'm really proud to say that we are growing really fast. And I think we're underdogs, but it's really fun and exciting to have that success and have it, keep going and keep growing. So thanks for the question. Yeah?
How do you get away with making a decision like that? So,
The cops are after me.
Yeah. Does your company have like a board of advisors? How do you,
yeah.
The rest of the leadership in your company, they have to hopefully, agree with the board of directors. So I'm
Yep.
curious on how that decision actually was rolled out for the rest of your company.
Yeah, well, there's a little company in Seattle called Costco that does similar stuff. And the CFO, Richard Galanti, he's a friend and mentor of mine. So, he helped me with a lot of courage in it. But I probably pitched it to about 25 people, 20 of whom were CEOs and outside advisors, and 5 of whom were people that worked at Gravity in financial or leadership type roles. And the reaction, it was interesting how consistent it was. All of the 25 people said, bad idea. And they were pretty strongly thinking it was a bad idea. And then I told them a second and a third time. I talked to my oldest brother who's a business consultant. He helped me through the logistics. I talked to my dad about it. He's brilliant. Like, he's been my mentor my whole life. He talked me through the logistics. And quickly these 25 people shifted from good idea, bad idea to, okay, Dan's going to do this. Let's help him. And my dad helped me do it. My brother helped me do it. And so that was great. But the question, I think, implies a little bit of, can everyone do it too? And the answer is no, clearly. But everybody can do something. And I've had between 200 and 300 messages over the past month that are either, like a woman came up to me and said, Dan, I walked into the office. I didn't know this woman. I walked into the office and my boss gave me a $10,000 raise. And he said it was because of you, that you inspired him. And I've had hundreds of CEOs tell me we completely redid our pay. And we always could have done it, but we just never thought of it, right? So a lot of times it's that creativity. I guess the takeaway for me is I'm glad I went hiking. Because like if you're stuck in the office all the time, you're not going to come up with your unique ideas. You know, this building is beautiful, but it's square and it's predictable. In nature, you know, everything's like random and crazy. And I think being in that environment and letting your brain be random and crazy, you know, you come up with ideas. Most of them are horrible. And sometimes there's a couple that are really good and you want to stick with it. So, Dave?
Your dad is a prolific writer.
Yeah.
Great leader.
Book pitch.
What's the
My dad has a book called The Complete Leader Out. There's also a leadership course that goes with it. It's phenomenal.
It's a great book. What's the name of your book?
Oof. I'll steal one from Obama. Lessons from My Father. You know, Dave, I would be so happy. I'm not saying I'm trying to have this happen, but I would be so happy if tomorrow everyone forgot about me and I could go back to my regular life. I'm having a great time, and it's a privilege to be up here. It's a privilege to be talking to all you guys, and I truly do love it. But I also love just sitting at home with my dog. And so, you know, I'm going to think long and hard before I go down the book path, but I might call you for some advice if it's okay. Yeah. Skip, Coach Hall.
Yeah, and you know, after 40-some years of coaching and building teams, and seeing this hit the news, and watching all this, having been to Rose Bowls and all this stuff, the thing that really struck me, and I want to share this with all the people here tonight, is that people say there's no I in team. When you redefine it, there is an I in team. It's called interdependence.
Mm-hmm.
Not independence, interdependence,
Mm-hmm.
on how a team can work together, come together, and do something great. Congratulations.
Thanks, Coach. You know, I really appreciate that, Coach, and I think we are all interdependent, and I think whether you are, you know, Protestant, Catholic, LDS, you know, somebody that doesn't go to church, whether you're Republican, Democrat, you know, all this stuff. We have all these fake divisions, but at the end of the day, you know, when we're united, we can, it feels good, it's fun, right? It feels really good, and it's just a really enjoyable way to live. And I think, you know, we're connected whether or not we realize it, right? Our awareness of biology does not change the biology. And so it's been really fun for me to do something that just is true in a way that I didn't even know. So thanks, Coach. All right, thank you. Appreciate it.